The Champions League is a simple competition. Teams strategize, managers lay out their best tactical plans, and in the end, Real Madrid win. And the exact same thing happened at the Santiago Bernabeu. But let's take a closer look at the tactical plans laid out by both managers, beginning with Real Madrid. Los Blancos dominated possession throughout, and that was facilitated by the fact that Bayern Munich were pretty passive in their 4-4-2 defensive shape, trying to get their forwards to remain deep on the double pivot of Kroos and Tchouaméni, for reasons that we'll touch on shortly. But if Bayern Munich were going to choose not to press, Madrid would simply use that as an opportunity to get their best passer of the ball in plenty of space, with Mendy pushing high up ahead of him into more of a left wing position. With all of this room, Kroos dominated and set the tempo, whether it was through short passes or much longer passes. Those longer, expansive passes from Kroos were only made possible because Madrid would almost always overload the left-hand side, as Mendy providing all the width in the first half meant that Vinicius could stay inside as a forward, while Bellingham would then drop into a midfield position. This was paired with the width always being provided on the right-hand side, which could be through Rodrigo with Carvajal tucking in. But what was more interesting was when Valverde or Carvajal stayed as the right winger, as Rodrigo did not always remain in this right-hand half space, and when he spotted the opportunity, he could make that overload on the left-hand side even more extreme. Naturally, this would now mean that Bayern were forced to come across the pitch, and Toni Kroos could time and time again execute ridiculously accurate switches, now allowing Madrid to attack the less protected side. Or if Madrid used a combination play through the center, the end result would still be the same, and this was causing major problems for Bayern Munich. So Thomas Tuchel was looking to make adaptations to this early on, and this was in the way Sané defended. The front two were still looking to protect the midfield, so it was Sané who from the right wing looked to close down Toni Kroos extremely early to at least apply some pressure on him to make it harder for him to dictate the play, and Bayern were accepting that Mendy would be free in the first half. But as one of the least dangerous players for Los Blancos, Bayern Munich were okay with this. Madrid's throwback attacking structure with two fullbacks providing all of the width was a major risk, as they were wide open in both of these areas. And Bayern were primed to take advantage of this, with the pace of Sané, Gnabry, later Davis, combining with Kane's playmaking ability. So on more than one occasion we saw Kane drop in to receive the first pass and look to play Sané in here. This did not work, however, either with Kroos doing a great job of covering defensively, or a poor pass from Kane, or sloppy play in general from Sané when he did receive. But of course, there was the one moment where it all paid off. Carvajal is high when there's a turnover, with Kane and Musiala, the front two, dropping deep to receive in the first phase possession. Kane's great pass finds Davis, who drags Rudiger out of position. Rudiger draws Davis onto his weak foot, and was just as surprised as the rest of us when Davis produced an outstanding finish. But Madrid and Ancelotti had spotted an obvious weakness in Bayern's adaptation with Sané, which was leaving Mendy completely free. Or should we say leaving a man completely free out wide? Because in the second half, Madrid made a concerted effort to ensure that that man was Vinicius Jr., who started wider. So now, Vinicius was receiving fairly freely, and he would draw Joshua Kimmich into a 1 versus 1. And testament to Vinicius' rise, he made a great player in Kimmich look extremely ordinary, getting past him consistently and hitting the byline and getting in extremely dangerous crosses, and was unlucky not to have an assist. Something that was extremely noticeable was that Bayern struggled to create sustained periods of domination. And that's because they weren't able to press, because Madrid were also effective in creating central overloads. Using the fullbacks like this means that Bellingham, Tchouaméni and Valverde would have the potential to make a 3 versus 2 here. So the front two being passive is their only hope of being somewhat even in this region. But it was never that simple, as Kroos of course could push higher up into the midfield, and neither of the front two are traditional forwards, so they would be more than happy dropping into the midfield as needed. This made it not only easier to keep possession with short passes, but also forced Bayern to defend deeper and deeper. And all of this is before mentioning Ancelotti's excellent substitutions, with Modric providing similar passing excellence as Kroos, except higher up the pitch, and Joselu providing a more traditional forward. But I also want to touch on how Madrid were able to smother Bayern Munich when they were in possession. From Bayern's goal kicks, Real took a page out of Arteta's pressing book, and Vinicius started higher up on the left-hand side, cutting out the pass into De Ligt, backed up by his pivots. Rodrigo, deliberately beginning deeper, consistently baited Neuer into the pass into Dyer, who would often be on his weaker left foot. Rodrigo would then spring forward, and Dyer under pressure would consistently play sloppy long balls into the forwards high up, leading to fairly easy turnovers. In open play, Madrid also defended in a 4-4-2, but the difference is they were more active in their press, with the front two looking to press the centre-backs and their pivots backing this up. Bayern were of course playing with a midfield 3, so Musiala would be the free third man. But Ancelotti utilized Rudiger's front foot defending, and he would be able to push out onto Musiala before he could turn. And while this wasn't always successful, it did do a good job of stemming the threat. Later on, Ancelotti would switch to a one-man press, with a cascading effect allowing Tchouaméni to defend deeper on Musiala, thus allowing Rudiger to remain as centre-back. Overall, this was a very deserved Madrid win, as they dominated the game from almost the first minute, both possession-wise and in terms of chance creation. The game epitomized everything great about Madrid. Ancelotti's tactical acumen, combined with getting the best out of individual players, and the magic of the Bernabeu, and Ancelotti earns an 8. Tuchel, on the other hand, struggled to deal with Madrid both in possession and out of possession, and his bizarre substitutions of his best attackers with only a 1-goal lead means he only earns a 5. But drop your ratings down below. And if you're looking for more Madrid-based content, why not check out this video, a throwback look at the greatest Ronaldo vs Messi encounter. Click on screen now.